roofer. What do you think is harder, being a roofer or a stay-at-home mom like me?
To ask your man a loaded question is absolutely idiotic.
Because as a roofer, I get downtime, I get breaks.
Let's say a newborn. The amount of time a child's asleep, is that not a break? I question if these people are actually parents.
Stay-at-home mom is not a hard job. Like hot tar roofer, that's a hard job.
Real quick, I'll explain in a second. You're a roofer. What do you think is harder, being a roofer or a stay-at-home mom like me?
A stay-at-home mom.
Why?
Because as a roofer, I get downtime, I get breaks. Stay-at-home moms don't get any of that. They're on duty every second of the day.
Some podcasters said that your job is way harder than being a mom. Being a mom is not hard at all.
I've had experience on both sides, going to work and roofing and staying at home. It's a lot harder to stay at home.
Yeah, you're the best. I love you.
She's manipulative. This is one of the most manipulative women in the world. This is like God level of manipulation. And I said a woman's nature is through deception and manipulation. People don't like to hear that, but it's a fact. And that's the way they operate. So the way she said it, even when she said it, or being a stay-at-home mom like me, now you're putting a man in a bind for adding that caveat to that. That's manipulation. Furthermore, into that manipulation, the fact that she got on, then say, all right, a roofer like you or a stay-at-home mom like me, while your kid is all up on you. So now he has to make the decision because men like peace. And they will prefer peace over everything. Do I say that my job is more harder than yours and create this house into chaos? Or do I give her what she wants to make her happy and, not put her down? Men have a bad habit of not telling the truth to try to help somebody else's feelings. But the feelings that those people get afterwards is basically a superiority complex after they get after that. If you think being a stay-at-home mom it's harder than being a roofer, then you're on God level of delusion. It's not even close. In fact, controversial take, being a stay-at-home mom, it's not that hard. It's actually quite simple. Kids can be annoying, absolutely, but it's very, very simple. And I'm going to tell you how, for sure, that it's simple in an analogy that will make it sit in your brain for you to get it just a little bit better. When a woman stays at home with a child, and you see a woman with a child, it's chaos. Kids are jumping left and right. They're chaos. They're falling down, catching tantrums, crying, passing out. Kids are going to be kids. So you look at that and you say, well, that got to be hard. It's annoying. She has to be patient with these kids and, things of that nature. We're not even going to get into statistics that, women are more likely to abuse children, abuse the elderly, and stuff like that. So we're not even going to talk about how they handle these situations. What we're going to talk about is them having these situations and how it would be different if it was a man. A lot of men say that when they think that, being a stay-at-home mom is hard because, they don't do it. It's because you're thinking about picking up somebody else's mess. That's why. If you're a man, an actual man, not a male, if you're a man, if you have children, you have a wife or a woman that have your children, you have to think of it like this. You have to think about assembling something from a furniture store. Let's just call it IKEA. If you have IKEA, the instructions give you the instructions for the build. They'll say, these are the screws, these are the dowels, all the parts that we need to build. They'll label every single one of the pieces, number 1, number 2, number 3, They'll do it in sections. You can keep it in sections. Now, it's best for you to keep it in sections. In some parts, they'll say, all right, items for this build, this part of the build in bag 1. So you have bag 1, you have bag 2. Then you have all the pieces. And then after that, then the bag 3 would be like the hinges, the doors, and stuff like that. Now, when a woman goes in there and she's taking care of the kid, it would be equivalent to her starting that build, that IKEA build. If she starts that IKEA build and say, I don't need any structure, I'm going to just wing it because I'm smart. It's not to say that she's a fool, but she's smart. I could probably figure it out. Obviously, this one is this big, so it goes in this one. Things of that nature. She moves forward with no structure at all. She moves forward with no structure, and then she's putting things together, but things are coming out backwards. And now she's trying to go look at the instructions, and she realized this, so she took it out. So this piece is a little bit off. She tries to put it back together. She starts to get overwhelmed. She took bag number 1, bag number 2, bag number 3, dumped it out. She dumped out all these bags. So now all the screws and stuff that's solely just for the first part, bag number 1, is mixed with bag number 2. So now these screws look similar, but they're not the same. Because one of them might be shorter, the other one might be longer. And for this one, if you put the longer one with the shorter one, it's not going to work. So all of those stuff is mixed up. And then all the pieces are backwards, or some of it is half built, and then you don't really know what steps you're on because she really wasn't going through steps. You go in the room and you be like, what the hell is going on here? And she like, yo, this thing is hard. Like, these instructions are stupid. And then you say, yeah, man, like, you know, some of these instructions when it comes to like kid stuff, like, I've always heard it was hard. It's some hard stuff, man. It's annoying. She gets overwhelmed and you like, all right, okay, cool. Let me go in there. Let me go and go, you know, try to help you out, man, because I want to be a good person. I want to help you out. I don't want you to be stressed. You go in there and you say you're going to help her out. You look at it and realize that this build is actually hard. But what you forget is that the build is only hard from the way she started it and the way the foundation is of whatever it is. The way kids act with their mother is completely different than the way kids act with their father. And if this is if he's a man, not a male. So therefore, have some testosterone. Have, you know, a little bit of that. But the women, if you pick up after them when it comes to children and you just pick up whatever they got going on, then you're going to have a big problem. Then staying at home with your child as a stay-at-home mom, it's going to be very, very difficult because the kid is going to run over you. They're going to do whatever they want to do. You're basically trying to structure life around them, but their feelings just doing whatever they feel like doing at the moment. And yesterday they wanted to eat the Cheerios, but today they don't want to eat the Cheerios. They don't like it no more. And then the day after that, they do love it. And why you don't have it on the plate, it's just that. That's chaos. And if you're trying to deal with that chaos with children, then you'll start to realize that being a stay-at-home mom is pretty hard. I would never want to do that. No. If you're a man, you hear me loud. If you have children and you stay at home with your kids, it's not going to look like that. That IKEA build will be in order. You're going to go through that book and you're going to be like, this already look confusing. So let me just go by step 1 and I'm going to do that. And I'm going to only open one bag. I'm going to organize it over here because I know I'm going to be doing this every day. So it's better to have a structure of something, especially people like roofers, right? When you go out with men, that's probably why men are like that. But when you go out, especially if you're a blue collar worker, you're going to have structure. When you put things up, you have to do it in a certain order, in a certain manner, in a certain way, in order for it to come out good. And if you do this every day, you can do it quicker and more efficiently, but it's still going to be in that order. And it's still going to be in that certain way. If a man is at home with his children, a woman would hate that. Not because the child is in harm's way of it or anything like that, because he's going to make it look too fun, too easy, and it's going to be a breeze because the kid is going to have behavior. They don't have a choice. They're going to have behavior. They're not going to be out here misbehaving, falling on the ground, screaming. That's unacceptable. That's not going to happen. Kids have it's basically repetitive. Whatever kids do, it's not that difficult to take care of a kid. Now, keep in mind, 1 and 2, they really don't care. They just being stupid. They just want to just run around, jump, and do whatever they want to do. But they're 1 and they're 2, right? So if you're a stay-at-home mom, let's just say that's when it's a little bit more difficult because they're just needy and just cry. And there's really not much you can do, right? At that point. However, after that, like that and for the rest of their lives, so say 3+, even like 2+ for the rest of their lives, they're pretty chill. They might ask a lot of questions. They might do a lot of things and do some things that you'd be like, yo, what are you doing? But for the most part, you can sit kids there and you can make them do activities or whatever it is. And you can honestly have it on repeat because you'll understand when your kid gets hungry. It's literally the same system over and over and over. You're like, all right, this kid, it's about that time. It's around this time, this kid usually gets hungry. Kids, when he said that she don't have a break, kids usually take naps. Let's say the ones that do not take naps, though. Let's say the demons that just do not want to take a nap and they just refuse to take a nap. Even then, the annoyance that these children have and the things that these children do is 100% based on how the parent is and what the parent allows them to do. If you're a man, you're not picking up after somebody else's IKEA build. So don't think that. if you're a man, you're going to have it structured in a way with your child. They're not going to be falling on the ground screaming and stuff like that. It's going to be very organized. It's not to say that they would never cry and they're never going to give you a headache ever. But I'm trying to say that when you're there, it's not going to be the chaos that you see with her and the kid jumping around and just whining all day. The kids don't do that with fathers. It's for a reason. Because there's more structure here. You can't just do what you feel like doing. So for a woman to say that she think that's harder, to have kids take naps, give them snacks, and then kids are annoying. They can be annoying to you. But it's your kid, so you just let them be annoying, ask you a million different questions the same exact way. Like it's just being a parent. You're going to do that. Then kids go to school. So after that, and they start from school from 3. So you got 3K, they got pre-K, they got kindergarten. They're in school. 8 to 10 hours a day they sleep. 8 hours or so they're in school. Maybe when they're young, it's maybe even like 6 hours when they're young. 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours they're in school. 8 to 10 hours they're sleeping. What on earth makes you think that's harder than putting your life on the line, climbing a roof, lifting all that heavy shit? I don't know if you ever put up a roof before. I have. So if you ever get on top of that roof, and then you're doing this in crazy weathers, whether it's cold outside and you're doing this when it's hot outside. I'm talking about blazing hot. So you're talking about blazing hot and blazing cold. You're still out there and you're putting up roofs and doing other things in that nature and putting your life on the line while you do that. That is not harder than being at home with your child that you can have structure with, that you 100% get breaks if a stay-at-home mom, because if you could still be a stay-at-home mom while the kid goes to school, which they start at 3. When they're an infant, you have to feed them, every 2 hours, 3 hours or so. And most of that time they're sleeping. Right? So think about that. It doesn't make sense when you're a man and you think you let this person just manipulate you like that. I can promise you it really does not go that way.
To ask your man a loaded question is absolutely idiotic. You think that it's like the same thing when women say, "Oh, do I look fat in this dress?" Or "Do I look fat in this?" What do you think he's gonna do? Say, "Yeah, you look fat." Do you not understand? Do you not understand men? Do you not? This is why no one can be honest with women, because it's the sheer stupidity. Ask someone that doesn't benefit from being with you. Ask someone that doesn't care about being with you or not. Ask someone that shit. Ask them that question, because this is the stupidity that a lot of people have, right? So he says, "Oh, okay, we get breaks," but here's the thing: you get breaks when your boss determines how you get a break. Okay? And you think that being a stay-at-home mom, you don't get a break? A child is playing. You're not doing nothing. You're not holding a child 24/7. Hey, you're not like feeding a child 24/7. No. Usually a child sleeps. What if he's sleeping? What if the child get a nap? Is that not a break? Is that not a break? The sheer stupidity. I question if these people are actually parents. To think that, oh my God, I don't get breaks at all. If the child's eating, is that not a break when you're not doing anything? The child's eating, right? Depending on the age. The child's asleep. Let's say a newborn. The amount of time a child's asleep, is that not a break? And the audacity. It is your own child. Something you are with something that you love. Tell me how many roofers love to sit out in the hot sun, right, doing roofing. How many roofers that love it, right? It's an amazing. They feel so much love, so much joy, roofing shit. It's like people don't understand. The feelings are completely different. You are enjoying. It's like, oh my God, so cute. It's they're walking. They're doing. The feelings are different. How many roofers like pop a nail and oh my God, I feel so much joy. It's such an amazing feeling. It's like, are you kidding me? And having, let's say, a boss telling you what to do. What mother is like, what's their own mom is like having a boss to deal with? No, they set their own schedule. They set their own, they decide what they would do during the day. No one is telling you what to do. No one is correcting you, right? Oh no, you shouldn't do that. That's wrong. No, you gotta do like this. You are your own boss. This is the sheer stupidity of so many women and the simp men they get with, okay? Why you just can't, why women are so delusional, because you just don't be honest with women. Being a stay-at-home parent, they're not saying it's easy, but it's not hard comparative to an actual job. Okay? Particularly if you have, a man that's giving you that opportunity to stay at home.
That's 100% true. And if you think that that's a lie, then you can switch the roles. Allow the man to stay at home with the kid. People say, yeah, I would love to do that. Sure. In the beginning, because you think it's going to be hard. Once you realize it's a breeze for men, because it will be structure and the kid will listen to the father. He's not jumping around or she's not jumping around, just flying on the ground, just doing what you feel like it. Yes, kids are going to be annoying because they're children to a certain extent, but they're not going to be doing all this misbehavior and stuff on a consistent basis. That's like you failing at your job every single day. Like yesterday was just like, I mean, today is just like yesterday, and the day after that is going to just be the same as the day. It just doesn't make any sense for you to have something bad happen or a misbehavior happen and just continuously happen. With a man, it's going to just be like, all right, I already see where this is going. We're going to cut it off right then and here to try to figure out something different so it can actually work, so we can be at peace. I can guarantee you let a man do that. Once that kid go to sleep, big break. Food, snacks, games, and that's what he's doing. And he'll get up and he'll take care of the kid and then be like, all right, cool. Have them sit right there at the table. They're playing whatever they want to do, whether it's dolls, cars, coloring, whatever it is. He's sitting there on the game as long as he's in eyesight or ear sight, because, you know, guys sometimes watch their kids with their ears. Just listen to whatever is going on. But the moral of the story is to say that roofing is a more simple job than being a mom is sheer delusion. And this is the reason why women don't respect men. And I honestly don't blame them.